Hello my loves, hello my bestie, hi, welcome in or welcome back to my channel. Hope you are all doing well. We are going to be picking my April TBR today using my new TBR jar. It's super cute. It's got little dragons. It's a fantasy TBR jar. And I will link the Etsy store that I got this from down in my description. So if anybody wants to get a fantasy TBR jar, you can. We are going to pick, I think, 10 books, again, to give me some wiggle room. I have not finished all my books for March yet. It is, at this point that I'm recording, it is March 23rd. And I know there's at least 1 or 2 books that I'm not going to get through. 3, because I didn't get to the one on my Kindle yet either. So those ones are going to be in the running. They're just over there at the moment. And I do have plenty more books to choose from down on my shelves. I don't know if we're going to go choosing from those quite yet or if we're just going to stick to what's on the cart. But I guess we'll see as we go along what prompts we get. So we are going to choose 10 prompts. And then I will have an open slot as well. So it'll be an 11th book, but it's the book club book for a Patreon that I'm a part of that I don't know what the book is yet. So we're going to pick our first prompt. I have all different kinds of prompts in here, all different things. So let's just grab one. Favorite genre, which is fantasy. Fantasy or thriller, but I'm going to go with fantasy for this one. So what fantasy do we want to read? I do want to read Scythe, but I think that's more of a sci-fi than a fantasy. I do have more fantasies over yonder. No, I will stick to my cart. Maybe we will go with The Games Gods Play. I'm thinking either The Games Gods Play or From Blood and Ash as my fantasy one. So we're going to pick our first book for fantasy as The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. I really love this edition. I have the sprayed edges. It's actually what made me buy it. Also, I know that this is like a Greek god retelling, I believe, or it's like it's involved with the Greek gods, and I do love Greek mythology, so that'll be our first choice for our fantasy pick. Then pick number 2. Let's not do another brown one. Color doesn't really matter, I don't think, but we'll go with this blue one. A book that takes place outside of the USA. Well, I already know Under Lock and Key is outside of the US. Technically, any fantasy book is outside of the US. Well, I know this one takes place outside of the US, so maybe we'll go with Under Lock and Key by Lana Ferguson. This takes place in Scotland. I should have known that, but it takes place in Scotland. So this is going to be our second choice for today, well, for April's TBR. I actually think I'm going to move you guys just a little bit closer. You can't see all the rows, and I'm very sorry about that, but I can only do so much, you know, where I'm still in it. I don't have a lot of recording spaces in this room, so this is the best we can do. Let's go for prompt number 3. Let's try to get down to the bottom. Oh, another brown one. The next prompt is random color generated cover. Random color generated cover. Where'd my phone go? Let's open up a random color generator. Black. Okay. So our color wheel has given us black. There are a lot of black books on this here TBR. Atlas 6 could be an option. That's quite a bit of black with some gold. So we'll keep that out as an option. Alright, Atlas 6 looks like it's going to be our best option for a black cover. This is mostly black with some touches of gold and silver for the writing. But I think this is going to be our third book for April. Let's get in here. Pick another one. Okay, well, a book with gold or silver lettering. Well, considering the Atlas 6 has silver lettering, let's see if we can find another one. It's probably going to be a fantasy that's going to have gold or silver writing. The Inheritance Games has gold writing. I also have my Kindle here in case we need to check that, but let's put that there. That's white, white. Guild has gold writing. Divine Rivals has gold writing. Dragonfall has gold writing. Crescent City has gold. I think that's all the ones over here that have gold or silver. So they're all fantasies. Let's see which ones. So we have a fantasy, a romance, a fantasy. I think I'm going to put back Crescent City. I really want to read it, but I also am very intimidated by it. And I also am so sad that I'm going to be finishing, starting the last Sarah J. Maas series that I have to read. Dragonfall is a little bit of a shorter book, so this could be an option. I'm thinking I might be leaning toward Guild, though. Just because of the fact that it's more of a dark kind of fantasy romance. And it also has gold sprayed edges. But I'm thinking this one because I have so many fantasies. So I'm thinking I either want to do Guild or the Inheritance Games. I think we should go for Guild because it's more of like a fantasy dark romance kind of deal, I believe. So let's go with Guild for book number 4. Alright, let's try to pick like a red. Let's pick out a red one this time. So we haven't had any red ones. Book title starts with a randomly generated letter. Let's see. Do I have one of those? So here is our random letter generator. M. All right. M. Beautiful. Malice, but that doesn't start with it. Also, if the title starts with the, I'm not going to count it. I'm going to count, if it's the only one left, we're going to say O, not the, because there's going to be way too many of those. So we had 3 options for books that start with M. We have The Midnight Guest by Lucy Foley, My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry by Frederick Bachman, or Mind Games by Nora Roberts. I have not read books from any of these authors. I know that this is, I think, a thriller. This one's a fiction. And I believe this one's also fiction, which I don't read a lot of just straight up fiction books. Ooh, this sounds really good. Mind Games sounds really good. This is about kids that go, a granddaughter. They drop their kids off. The Foxes drop their kids off at their grandmother's house for 2 weeks out of the year, to just spend time with her while they get some alone time. And Lucy, one of the kids, and their grandmother, Lucy, and Thea both wake up. They both kind of have this vision, like these visions or this sight, apparently, and they both wake up from the same nightmare, and it comes to be true. And it says it right in the blurb, but basically their parents have been killed, and with the visions that her grandmother and Thea and her grandmother have, they're able to find out who killed Thea's parents. So that sounds really good. I've heard that Nora Roberts is also a really, really good author. One of my best friend Lindsay recommended her, said she's really, really good. So that's a really good option. This is about a little girl named Elsa who's 7 years old. Her grandmother is in her 70s, and she is kind of crazy. She's like, it says in here, she is standing on the balcony firing paintball guns at men who want to talk about Jesus crazy. And when her grandmother dies, her grandmother has written a bunch of letters to people who she has wronged, and Elsa decides to go bring these letters to people, and she experiences, her letters lead her to an apartment building full of drunks, monsters, attack dogs, and old crones, but also to the truth about fairy tales and kingdoms and a grandmother like no other. So it just sounds really good. It's a story about life and death and one of the most important human rights, the right to be different. So that sounds really, really good too. And then The Midnight Guest. It's the opening night of the manor, and no expense, small or large, has been spared. The infinity pool sparkles, crystal pouches for guest healing have been placed at the seaside cottages. The Midnight Feast is about, it says, it's the opening night of the manor, and no expense, small or large, has been spared. The infinity pool sparkles, crystal pouches for guest healing have been placed in the seaside cottages and woodland hutches. The manor mule cocktail, grapefruit, ginger, vodka, and a dash of CBD oil is being poured with a heavy hand. Everyone is wearing linen. And yet, just outside the manor's immaculately kept grounds, an ancient forest bristles with secrets. The local community resents what they see as the manor's intrusion into the local woods and attempts to privatize the beach. And small skirmishes have erupted on the edges of the property between locals and the staff. And the whispers keep coming about an old piece of pagan folklore, and it must be folklore. The Nightbirds, an avenging force that can be called upon to make right wrongs that elude the law. Oh, though surely everything at the manor has been done above board. On the Sunday morning of opening weekend, the local police are called. There's been a fire. A body's been discovered. Something's not right with the guests. What happened on the grounds of the manor the past 36 hours, and who or what is the cause? Everyone has an agenda. Everyone has a past, but not everyone will survive the midnight feast. Okay, well, all three of these sound really good, and I don't know which one to pick. We're going to have my fiance pick out of these three. He's chosen Mind Games. So we're going to go with Mind Games as our fifth book. Oh, I keep having to go down the stairs. I didn't have a single book on this cart that starts with an M. Not a single one. One of these. Free pick. There it is. Free pick. Well, do I want to pick one of these M ones? Or do I want to pick one from over here? I think I'm going to keep my free pick for the end. I'm going to save my free pick and pick from what's left, because I don't want to pick something that works for another prompt. So we're going to save the free pick. Let's see here. Oh my god, they're all kind of like inside of each other. Another brown one. Okay. Favorite booktubers 5-star read. Okay, found it. I'm gonna try to scroll and see if I find a 5-star that I have. So, let me see if either of these are on Kindle Unlimited. So there's a couple that are the beginning of series. So this one, she rated a 5-star and said, "I'm so obsessed, send help." So I think we're going to end up going with this one, and it is Insatiable, The Edge of Darkness, Book 1 by Lee Rivers. Let me go back and make sure it's actually in my library so I don't forget. It says thank you for your order, but I didn't order anything. Okay, well, Insatiable by Lee Rivers is going to be the next one. This is not wanting to work because it keeps doing that kind of thing lately where it's being rude. So we'll just set that over there for now. And we'll pick another one. Okay. Romance or dark romance? Well, okay. Romance or dark romance? Well, God of Malice is a dark romance. Variations are romance. Her Night at the Museum and The Love Hypothesis are romances. Credence is a dark romance. Do we want to take the leap and go for Credence? We're going to go with Credence. We're just going to go for it. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 7. Let's see. I'll let you guys see first if it's upside down. Right. A book set in the mountains. Well, I feel like that's Credence. Maybe it doesn't have to be set in the mountains. Maybe we'll just have it that it's got, like, woods on the cover. Does that make sense, maybe? Well, this is in an ancient forest. So maybe we'll go with the Midnight Feast. Because I don't really know which ones take place up in the mountains. We're going to go with the Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. We are indeed. So that's 8. I think. 8. 9. This was the last one. I forgot. I have the free pick still to do. Alright. Leftover from the previous month's TBR. Let me go grab the ones that I have left. So I have Morbidly Yours by Ivy Fairbanks, Scarred by Emily McIntyre, and The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren, all left from last month, well, from this month. I know I'm not going to get to these, or all of these. And I also have Zodiac Academy, the first book, that I haven't gotten to yet, but I have quite a few fantasies, so I don't know if I want to add another fantasy. So I think I'm going to stick to one of these 3. We have dark romance, romance. Maybe we will skip the dark romance and go for either Morbidly Yours or The Paradise Problem. I think we're going to go for Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I like that. Save this one for a different day. Well, I guess I'll keep this out because March is not done yet. Alright, and then I have my free pick. I might add another fantasy. Okay, I either want Quicksilver, The Naturals, Scythe. I think we're going to go with Quicksilver. If I don't read this soon, my other best friend's going to kill me. So, we're going to choose Quicksilver, and I absolutely love the indie cover or the out-of-print cover. I think this one's really pretty. I don't like the one with the face on it, so we're going to go with Quicksilver as our final pick. So, our final roundup is as such. This is such a heavy stack. We have Games Gods Play, Under Lock and Key, The Atlas 6, Guild, Mind Games, Credence, The Midnight Feast, Paradise Problem, Quicksilver, and Insatiable as our April TBR. And then we are also going to have a one other book that's going to be a book club pick that hasn't been determined yet for next month. Oh, and potentially Enchantra, because that comes out on April 8th, and I adored Phantasma, so that might also just be randomly added to TBR because I have no chill. And I will never finish my entire TBR, and if I do, good for me. But that is going to be it for today's video. If you like, please hit like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. And if there are any books here that you guys have read and really enjoyed, let me know in the comments, or if there's any that you would like to see me read, let me know. And if you absolutely hated any of these, also let me know. Just don't tell me why. Don't spoil anything, basically, is what I'm saying. And yeah, I will see you guys the next time that I see you.